to do a quick demo on the synthetic sand. Some of you are familiar with from Wood World. Wood World's the exclusive supplier of it. I make the stuff for Wood World along with a few other items. Y'all can, if you want, I can pass some around. These are unlabeled samples. These are just out of my old stock. You can kind of get an idea what it looks like. And I should be. I'm going to grab another one because you want to. Yeah, some of them. That's what I was just about to get into. Some of them are going to be different particle sizes, depending on what. There we go. This one here is a lot more granulated, and there's a reason for that. This one's to get more of a kind of a rustic granite look, so to speak, so you can get the more particulate effect out of it. And so let's see.
I've got one that's two colored, brown and black.
That's pretty much what that one is. It's kind of, we call it Tech Red or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what after Texas Tech, that's where Craig went to school. He actually named all the colors back when we came up with this many years ago. Here's a little. It's hard to pick it up in that. It's pretty dark. That's just you can see all I did is basically took a Forstner bit and created a void, and then most of the ones I'm showing you here, I used CA glue as my binder material. You can use epoxy if you've got a little time on your hands, or anything else that can form a binder or form a solid surface.
Does this stuff dissolve in the CA glue or the epoxy?
It is organic in nature, so basically it will dissolve in certain solvents. It is somewhat soluble in CA, although the CA reacts so quick, it almost locks it up a little bit. I'm going to give you a couple of ways to use this stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to finish the preamble first before I get into the demo, so I don't burn my hands or anything. With these two dots, there's like a turquoise and a blue. These are both done in epoxy. And the way I did it, I actually stirred the material, the sandy material, into the epoxy. Just stirred it up with a popsicle stick, and then I filled in the deal. Overfilled it, and then let it cure for a day, and then came back with a DA sander and sanded it flush, and then pitted it with a couple of quick coats of clear. Nothing no world famous finish here. Just a quick and dirty demo. You can get out of it as much as you put into it as far as finish goes. So if I wanted a super high Ferrari gloss finish on this, I could get it. All things are attainable. It's a fixed cured product in this state. This one here is a quick example of what you can do with it using two different colors. You can create like a mosaic pattern. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. It involves a cigarette lighter and some tin foil, little parlor trick. And we'll mix a couple of bits up and then set that, and that was set in CA glue, so I can do that whole demo for you in person here. So you can pass that one around. Cool. But one more thing, what I was going to say about using here's what I've learned: CA versus when you put this in epoxy. I also carry or sell a line of dyes, colorants, color concentrates for epoxies that's about to get released. As soon as Alumilite lets go of some resin, there's a bit of a problem with their supply right now. Craig's going to be carrying all that out of the store in Dallas. What I've noticed though, this versus CA, if you notice, both of these are the same color. But if you look, this is a little more monochrome, more one color, very concentrated versus this. When you mix the sand with the epoxy, you get a bit of an organic finish. It's kind of neat. So I want you to look at, as I pass these around, look at the difference between those and you'll see what I mean. You'll see a little bit of it in the blue as well. You get almost a little bit of a I don't know, fade away or something out of it. I brought another. This is another material we carry. These are called powdered metals, and it's actually metal. Okay, wow. It's copper that's been treated, and we have, I don't know, 6 or 8 colors of it. We have several shades of gold. We have an actual copper, which is right here. These are stunning. I mean, for doing, and then you can use it kind of in the same manner I'm going to use the synthetic sand and all that good stuff. So, okay. So anyway, let's get started. And there's a few. If you guys want, you can pass some of these samples around. Bags.
Where would you use the synthetic sand versus colored epoxy?
Yeah, versus the powder you get from
The powder or whatever.
That black line.
What makes this?
Well, if I'm looking,
What point do you choose? Or is it
I
just a-
think it's a personal choice, really. Like I said, if you're turning something, like Mike was turning this vase, you know, and he wanted to get it done, and he has a crack, he wants to fix it now. The CA glue with a little accelerator, boom, 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 boom. It's literally a 5-minute job, and I go on and finish my job, and I'm out the door. Epoxy. If I'm going to do epoxy, if I'm doing a bigger repair, and I might want to put a backer material in, not backer rod, but you know what I mean, like backer tape, Tyvek tape, something like that, to back it up, and then, like I should have done on this, where'd it go, that hole right there?
Yeah.
That would be definitely an epoxy job, not a CA job. That would take me a month of Sundays to fill it in with CA because it's too runny. So
I've got a quick question. And
so I'm going to actually use this piece because that's like a perfect canvas for it. So I'm going to do this all like an all-inclusive one-shot demo here. We're going to be using the synthetic sand, but I'm also going to throw in the mosaic trick as I do this too, and you're going to see one of the properties. And we're going to do something crazy like red and white.
I've got a fire extinguisher in case you need it.
Okay, I don't think I'll set anything on fire. I've got a good track record on that.
Usually it's
I haven't burned
Charlie.
down one house yet.
Usually it's Charlie or.
This is only my first at-home demo, so
Oh, boy.
there's that. Okay, where's my little deal here? Okay, so for this, because I'm gonna make a mosaic, I'm gonna use a little bit more. So I don't know what that is. That's probably like a half a teaspoon, I'd say. I'm gonna just not that much. Everybody see that? Okay, so we're gonna take that, put that right there, and then I'm going to take my lighter. This is where I'm gonna make a mess of it. Let's get a little char. Cookie Coke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know this does. I hope the FBI's not filming because they'll probably
There
want.
goes my clearance.
Yeah, I'm gonna get picked up with
It's
questions.
legal?
Let's see here.
What's the point of warming it?
Well, that's what I'm about to show you. I'm gonna make a mosaic pattern. Otherwise, if I mix two powders together, I'm gonna get two powders that are mixed together.
You'll get
What I'm
one
gonna
piece.
show you here, I'm gonna make one chip, and I'm gonna break that big chip into little chips, but not powdered size, but they'll be, you know,
So when it's heated.
chip size.
So you're melting the
it's
sand
bonded.
I'm
together.
melting the sand, exactly right. I'm
Gotcha.
fusing it, basically. So we'll let that.
Otherwise it'll come out pink.
Right, yeah, mix the two together. Like red.
Okay, we'll let that cool a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and do the red. Let's see here. Contaminate my red a little bit here, that's okay.
Since you're the chemist, what is the sand?
Well, that's a trade secret.
Proprietary information there.
It's not a plastic.
It's not, no, it's not a plastic, that's correct. It's not a plastic. It is in the family, it's a polymer.
Polymer.
It's polymeric.
I was gonna ask if it was
That's all
polymeric.
I need to know. You're
Polymeric, it's organic. I can tell you that
Cuts
it's
really well with-
polyester chemistry involved, okay?
That's way above.
Cuts really well with the knot, with the low valve.
So it's not mica, huh?
You know, like it's
Not mica.
Yeah,
It's kind of-
Mica is made with titanium and other things, and also with some dyes and stuff. It's more of a pigment. This is more of this is actually a binder with pigments in it of sorts, and it's pulverized into a powder.
Okay.
That's like a perfect description of pastels, of
I use a lot of
polymer
mica.
clay.
We have I don't know how many colors. There's a lot of different colors. We had some that we did in
I didn't
small batches and call them VLE, very limited edition, and things like that. Just kind of
Zombie
change them around a lot. Yeah.
But I didn't see the metallic colors on there yet. Have they not been released?
Well, that's not synthetic sand. That's going to be in. Look at Jimmy Clue's metallic powders, I think, or
Metallic
something along that line.
powders.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. Let's see. I think those are cooled off. So let's see. If everything goes well, this should peel right off of that foil, just like that. So see, I got a chip. That's all in little particles of powder. Now I've made one big chip, right? So now I'm going to take this one off. Now, red and white are probably not two synthetic sands you might put together on a fancy piece of turning or anything like that, but it does do a good job for demonstrating the. See, I got black on my fingers from this.
Yeah, from the fluid.
Always do that. Always forget. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my lighter here. Just kind of. This stuff has got decent friability, so it shatters. Okay. I'm just going to break it into some little pieces. It's probably all over the floor there, so it's tomorrow. So sorry. it will sweep up usually though.
It's mixed in with the sawdust.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you mix it in with sawdust and add a little glue, make cut or something.
Now that's been a woodworker's trick for a long time is sawdust and glue.
Yep.
Now I'll make one explanation here. This is a little more time consuming than just filling it with sand and putting some glue in and all that, obviously. So, but I really wanted to show you guys this because I think it's a cool little trick. If you want to get kind of artistic with it, I'm going to take these pieces and I'm going to try to just kind of organize them in a kind of a haphazard fashion and try to mix them up with that one's a little bit big.
You said the biggest one down here so we can see what he's doing.
This thing here.
Yeah, appreciate it, yeah.
Yes,
See
sir.
it.
Okay, let's see, we get one there. You want to try to use up the chips rather than your glue. The chips are probably a little bit cheaper than the glue is, but that's,
Yeah, that glue's high.
yeah, I'll kind of go with that right there. Let's see what that does.
I'll buy it by
Yeah,
the paint.
There's no two outcomes that are the same. That's the other fun thing about this stuff. You can, it's every time it's a new adventure. It's always different.
Now,
I'm going to use some, this is Starbond. You guys are probably familiar with Starbond products. The thin CA. I like the thin CA better because, especially doing something like this, I know I'm going to get good penetration all the way down to the wood and get good anchor to the wood. So I'm just going to just kind of sparingly drop a few drops, kind of mitigator, so we don't have to wait all night. Okay. You should see a little smoke show here shortly. Come on, react. Sometimes you gotta talk to them. We'll see, got a little bit there.
That actually, that's acetone maybe?
It's actually it's a ether derivative, I believe. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, you're close. You're in the right ballpark, just a little bit
But
different.
acetone works,
It's-
I've never tried it, but
I've never tried it either. I've read that it's basically it smells like ether and it acts like ether. It's really volatile. So.
The accelerator,
Mhm.
Activator.
activator.
Yeah, accelerated catalyst, whatever, it just speeds up the reaction.
I failed chemistry 3 times.
It smells sort of like that.
Yeah, you really, you don't,
Beat yourself up about
just a
that.
word of caution to all you guys, you don't want to breathe the fumes from isocyanate that's accelerated, that little smoke that comes off, that's not very healthy, so you won't always work in a ventilated area, and don't get in your, don't get your face in it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sand it. You can see, y'all want to pass that around, take a quick look at that's where you should be, a little bit proud of your surface. I may have a couple of little divots in there maybe. So let me give you a little advice about sanding this thing. It's a little counterintuitive actually. Let me just ask, take a quick survey. What makes more heat? Sanding with 60 grit or 220 grit? There you go. Thank you. That's a good answer. A lot of people unfortunately think, well, I'm going to sand this with 220, and what happens is it gets hot so quick and you end up smearing it or scarring it or trashing it or whatever. The best thing to do is start out with a 60 grit pad and get it 90-95% the way there, and then add light pressure and sand it the rest of the way. Even if you're on a lathe, same kind of thing. So we'll start out with a 60. And usually 60 to 120. I hate it with some clear, and it makes a pretty decent satin finish. And the epoxy, okay. Got blood out the light. Red and white may have been a bad choice.
Did you get pink?
Yeah, I got a little bit. Well, I got a lot of red. Let's see. Yeah, let's see.
yeah, I do a lot of things.
There we go.
You can burn it if you turn too fast.
Yeah.
You'll leave white streaks in it, and the only way to get it out is sand it off or
Cut it all the way
something.
back.
Get all the way back down the wood.
Getting real white right there, okay. I'm gonna try now to finish it off with a little, G20, which is right there.
This is cool because
Yeah, the CA is more fine, so $38.
I didn't bring any, paper, you got a paper towel or napkin, anything. I just want to wipe a little dust off and I'll get it with a little clear. That ain't too bad. One little tiny spot right there. Now, if you get a little spot in it or something that's not completely done, you can always go right back over it and hit it with just a little bit of glue, a little accelerator, hit a little more sandpaper and finish it off. It doesn't, you're not going to hurt it any.
How was that polished?
It polishes
It
good.
polished full gloss. You get full gloss out of it, yeah.
Here, this is, yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is wax based. It is not, the waxes aren't inherently strong finishes. They're really just a means of carrying, you know, the pigments that are in here. So this color is called steel. It's a kind of a bluish gray color. And I just took a piece of oak. Yep. Last night, just shot some black spray paint on it, just a flat black spray paint. And all I want to do is just fill the grain in. And there are a lot of uses for this product too. One of the things that I've kind of found a little niche for.
That was a demo I did at my shop about
that's what I did.
2 or 3
I
months,
burned it
3 months
and
ago.
then-
That's fortunate.
See, this is just real quick. I mean, this you know, kind of a cool finish. You know, if you want to change it up a little bit. It's not traditional looking. It's more, I guess you get more of a modern look out of this, or especially when you do the scorching, where you scorch the grain, but you get some, you know, neat little tricks like that. And that can be clear coated and all that good stuff.
With like lacquer or?
Yeah, I shoot it. I mostly shoot with lacquer. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
That's my finish
and this
toys
this
right
stuff we
now.
have, I don't know how many colors we have now. We were up to around 20 something.
Yeah.
Some were slow. We took some out. And what happens? Keep in mind. Okay, so there was several objectives I had when I invented this stuff. It's nothing profound. Liberon's been making gilding creams for years,
Yeah.
but they had a couple of problems. They were real expensive for what you got.
Yeah.
They were flammable and toxic. This is not. This is non-flammable, non-toxic. This will not kill you. It's just,
It smells
Well, that's
good.
good.
you could probably even eat it. I'm not saying eat it, but you could do it. You probably wouldn't die. You could live and tell about it. Okay? So there's that. You can airship this, which is good for us.